One of the first things I did when I got the X-H2 is to customize the buttons. If you're not going to customize those buttons to suit your own personal preference, then you're really losing out on your left-hand functionality. I would not hesitate to customize some of my buttons according to common popular scenarios. For example, super bright afternoon sun, that's easily 1/500, sometimes 1/1000, f8. And so one of the buttons would be customized for this specific scenario. You can have one for nice morning light. 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. is a particular type of light and a particular type of setting. Another scenario would be entering the shade. So this is where you would shoot in corridors, in shaded public spaces like a hawker center or market. You want this to be on an ISO 400. You are walking maybe and you want this to be 1/125, you can have a customization for that. Another setting would be night photography. You could have two kinds of extremes in night photography. So with stabilizations in place, I think you could easily shoot handheld at 1/30, say ISO 1600. The next night mode you can set the extreme, say very dark lighting conditions. So 1 second, say ISO, you don't want to bump it too high, you don't want to have too much noise. Say ISO, 6004. Then you have 5 different scenarios that you can quickly turn the dial to. What I've done is I've disabled my auto save settings so that every time I return to those numbers, they go back to the settings that I've thoroughly thought of. If you enable the autosave function, then it will go back to where you last left off. For me, it becomes confusing. I tend to mix the buttons all up at the end. So I'm disabling this function, and every time I know that every time I go back, it was where I started off originally.